everybody, welcome to the channel. This is BuzzBuggies RC and this is RC Quick Tips. Tip number one would be, if you're not used to driving RCs, some of these are really fast, just don't take it out of the box and think that you can drive them, because trust me, you really can't, and neither can I. Tip number two, you know what to do. It's not glue, it's Loctite. Loctite your wheel nuts on. Very important, especially on the big 6S stuff, the real fast stuff. Tip number three, get yourself a good toolkit. Tip number four, are you going to be bashing your RCs, in which case you're going to need a hard case battery. If you're not, if you're just racing or just tootling about or crawling RCs, you can get a soft case battery. Hard cases are generally a bit bigger because of the case. So always think about battery straps in your vehicle and batteries fitted and things. While we're on about batteries, try get yourself a decent quality battery. These I always use, and I've not really had any problems with them myself, so they've been fine for me. But there's loads of other brands, but yeah, if you're going to get batteries, and make sure that you don't go cheap, because they can be dangerous. Do you want to go slow, or do you want to go really fast? That's always something to think about. These crawlers are so much cheaper, and you can still have fun with them, climbing little hills and with a family. You could take the kids out with them, and you know, they're cheap sort of fun. You can still upgrade and stuff, or you get something fast. I know this is a nitro on about electrics, but you get something fast where you're probably going to break it all the time, and it's going to cost you. And yeah, but always think about that. It's important to get yourself a decent charger. Don't use them cheap ones you get free with the cars. They're really not great. They're alright just to start off with, but highly recommend these ones, to be fair. But no, get yourself a good charger. These have been alright. Sky RC, they're not too bad price wise. You've got the T100 and the T200, and they do it all. If you're new to RCs, think about what brand you might want to go with. Have a look at reviews. Generally, if you're going to be buying quite a lot of cars, try and go for the same brand. Trust me, I know, because I bought loads of different brands, and now I've got all sorts of bits and pieces, and some of them I don't even know what they are, and you know, in the long run I'm going to lose money. So if you say for example, if you go with Armour or Traxxas, I would stick with Traxxas or stick with Armour, and then especially they do their own batteries and charger systems as well. You can get them and just try and keep, and then any parts and spares you can reuse, and that way you're going to save money. I'm totally no expert on motors, but do you want to go brushed motor or brushless? Now generally brush ones, you're going to find it's cheaper to buy the RC, but they are a little bit slower than brushless. Other than that, I don't know an awful lot about motors. I think so brushed will have better low down torque. Is that right? God knows. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one, but yeah, it's brushed or brushless motor. I haven't drove one of these for a while, so there it comes. Oh, nearly hit the bin. I thought I was going to hit the bin. Going back to what I said at the beginning about just unboxing it and then thinking you can drive it and probably breaking it. On the back of the controllers, normally, a lot of them will have a speed adjustments of 50%, 75% and 100%. I advise, if you're totally new to the car, just do that. Just slows it down, get used to it, then go 75, then go 100%. If you're running a 4S, well, even the 3S, 4S, 6S, some of the Armour trucks and that, trust me, they're fast. So just slow it down so you get used to it. I did touch on this a little bit in yesterday's video. Basically, when you're cleaning them, try not to use water. I use Valitor's Dash Shine, which is about 15 quid for 5 litres off eBay or something, and I'll spritz it all down. You can get a blowing tool or wet vac, you can go around it with that. Of course, get brushes and cloths, and then afterwards get some like WD-40, some kind of water dispersal spray, and go around your gears and just any sort of metal parts that are likely to rust, any screws, drive shafts and bits like that. Just protect it and just keep it clean. And then after each run, just check it all over, make sure, you know, good maintenance. This will look after you if you look after that. Always think about battery connectors as well. Make sure that the batteries you get, they've got the right connectors, and it's best to try and stay to the same connectors, sort of going back to the brand thing. And then you don't have to use adapters and silly things like that, or be soldering new ones on. So just try and sort of stick with the same connectors on your batteries. If you're screwing screws into metal components, always use thread locker again. It's just a must do. Just you only want a tiny little amount, but yeah, any screws going into metal, thread locker. If they're into plastic, make sure you use the right type of plastic type screws. Before you get into a certain brand, also consider parts prices. Do you go cheap or do you go a little bit more expensive? But trust me, all RCs break. Some sooner than others, but they all break. If you've got a fast RC car, make sure the tyres are glued. Make sure they're glued on. Most manufacturers do them, but you'll still get things like this happen. Don't be a ding. Keep your batteries in a tin. I use ammo cases, and I say storage charge when you're not using them, and try and keep them out of the house. Put them in the shed or something. It's just best practice. Get to know your RC. If you've just purchased one brand new, just look around it, have a look how everything goes together. Read the instructions if you need to, and then when it comes to maintenance, then you know what you're doing, you know how it should be. But things that are likely to break if you're bashing them around and that are like hinge pins that hold these lower arms on, lower arms and things you can break. Shocks, you generally will break. But every time you use it, just check it over before you take it out again. If doing big jumps when you land, don't land on power, let go. If you brake, it should do a forward roll. If you keep your finger on the trigger, it should do backflips. If it's got the power to do so, but never land on power because you can damage the diffs. Get yourself some kind of tub and just fill it up with just random screws and knickknacks and wheel nuts and shafts and all sorts of things, because trust me, you're going to need it along your journey. When charging batteries, it is best to balance charge your batteries, and when you're not using them, put them into storage. Thanks for watching, people. There goes a few tips, certainly mistakes that I made at the beginning. If you're bashing them and that, you know, it just scrapes them up and you will end up damaging them, and you generally ruin them. Try and look after them, and then it'll look after you a bit. But the way I drive them, I regret some of what I've done to them, you know, the bashing and that. It's a shame, and it can cost you quite a lot of money. So always bear in mind, you know, like parts prices and things and stuff like that. But just try and look after them. You know, this is a nice buggy here. Be ashamed to scrape it all up and that one. Some of them I look after, some of them I don't. But yeah, I hope that helps. Just sort of some beginner tips and that. There you go. And yeah, if that helps you or whatever, I'll try and do another one as well. Like if I get some good comments and you know a few people are interested or whatever, and I'll try and think of some more stuff that was totally off the top of my mind. Just yeah. Anyway, right. I'll see you soon, peeps. Take it easy.